So, my friend, I want to ask you, have you been listening to some of my podcasts for a while and identified for yourself all the areas that you feel your business could be better in? Maybe you just are so busy you haven't yet mastered the working as much as you like bit. Or maybe you're just not bringing in the money, like you're struggling with the income, or it's just not enough. Well, it's time for us to have a conversation. In the show notes, there is a link to my evolution call. If you're a dance boss and you are ready to take action, let's have a chat and let's see where I can take you. Welcome, lovelies, to the Ultimate Dance Business Podcast. My name is Deborah Laws, the dance business expert. My passion is to help you turn your passion into profit while guiding you to work less and earn more. I'm super excited to share interviews with you that I know will inspire and motivate you in your schools, as well as my solo shows where I shall be sharing some great tips and strategies. So if you love the show, please do remember to review, subscribe, and share it with your fellow dance boss friends. So let's get stuck into the business of dance. Hello, my darling. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Today we're going to talk about the monster. The monster potentially that could be what you have created in your school. And I'm very fond of this monster because our school is our baby, right? But sometimes we start out with just wanting to run our own school, have our own business, teach kids in our way, in the way that we want to. And we work so hard. We work with passion. We work with direction. We're ambitious. Like we pour our heart and soul into our school. And suddenly you wake up one day and you realize that your best friend that was your dance school and your business that you were trying to create has overnight turned into this monster. And what I mean by this is it now is sucking everything from you, a bit like a parasite. Gosh, I'm sorry. That's such a horrible way of explaining our school. But it does. It sucks the life out of you. You know, you're teaching, you're putting everything into your classes so your kids have a great time and they stay with you. And then you're busy emailing and trying to get back to your parents and customers as quickly as you can. And then you're trying to grow the school, you're trying to do the marketing, you're trying to keep on top of the finances, pay the bills. Maybe you've got a couple of team members and you're trying to look after them and lead them. And before you know it, it's taken up your whole identity. Like there is no you outside of when you're running your school. And the time that you used to have for yourself, the time that you had when you spent time in nature or when you were with your friends and your family has reduced down so much that barely happens anymore. And instead of getting up every day with a big smile and loving getting to work and getting into your school and your business, you get up and you kind of have this almost begrudging, bitter sense about your school because it has sucked everything that used to be you outside of your business out of you. And now you are just involved in your business, what feels like 24 hours a day. And if you don't feel like this, amazing. I'm so pleased for you. And I genuinely mean I'm so pleased for you because you've done something really great. But for a lot of people listening, I know that this might have just described you and your life. So, you know, moving into a slightly more positive kind of frame of mode, let me take you there. I think what we have to learn and discover is, okay, I worked so hard, but now I've got this. We need to now look at, so if this is where I'm at now, and I'm not completely happy with my life and how it is, then what's next? What are the steps I need to take to move myself out of Deborah, I've created a monster, into Deborah, my business is my best friend again? Like, how do we move back into loving our school? And I think there's a few practical things you can do here, which is what I wanted to focus on in this podcast. So the first thing I'd love you to do, my love, is go and grab a piece of paper and a pen and a coffee and find yourself a quiet corner for 5 minutes. Put me on pause, go and grab that and then come back. Okay, so now we have got some time. We're going to do a bit of kind of journaling, but not journaling. It's more strategy journaling. I want you to write down, in an ideal world, I would have more time to do what? What does that thing look like? Is it read a book, listen to music, listen to Deborah's fabulous podcasts, listen to somebody else's podcasts, meet up with my mum, go and visit my auntie, go to the gym, do a yoga class, find time for a dance class, have time to watch a Netflix miniseries? Like, what would you love to do? If somebody could gift you an additional 10 hours a week and you weren't allowed to spend it in your business, what would you spend it on? And then I want you to think about so write that down for me first. What was the things you'd love to have more time to do? Yeah, maybe it's being home to put the kids to bed one night a week. And now I want you to have a really good think about, what are the things that I have to do in my business, in my day-to-day life, or things that I have to do monthly, or maybe I have to do them every year, that I really do not love? Like, I've ended up having to do these things because there's nobody else to do them, or because I think nobody else could do them, and therefore it's all on me. But I wish I didn't have to. Like, I wish I didn't have to do this thing. Maybe it's chasing payments, or maybe it's social media. Maybe it's, running one-to-one meetings with your team. What is the thing in your business that you don't necessarily despise, but it's part of the monster element that we've been talking about? You'd love to just stop it tomorrow if you could. Write those things down for me too. And then I want you to imagine your life with the time to do these extra things that we wrote down on the piece of paper first. And then without the things that we don't love, like imagine they've gone and we've got this extra stuff in our life. How do you feel now? How does the you in this situation now feel? Does your school still feel like a baby monster, or is it still a great big monster? Or does it actually feel perfect now? In which case, voila, we have just discovered the things that become the beginning of the plan of what we have to do next, of what we have to fix, of what we could work towards. If it still feels like quite a big monster, then maybe we also need to look at things like, how much are you teaching? What other things do you need to change about your school? Maybe you don't teach that much, but what you do teach are classes that you don't love. Or maybe it's things like, I don't know, you're doing exams and you don't love doing exams, or you do a yearly show and you wish you only had to do it every other year, or you run a comp team and when you wish you didn't have a comp team. Like, maybe there's things that you do that, they don't necessarily take up lots of time, they're not necessarily difficult, but maybe you've ended up doing them in your school and you just wish you didn't have to. You wish you hadn't created that in the first place. You've fallen out of love with it. Like, if it was a competition team, for example, maybe it felt like a good idea at the time, but now you don't want to do it anymore, but you don't know how to stop it. So look at any other areas that you don't currently love about running your school. So I thought I would just share with you guys today the planners that I have produced for dance school owners, because these are flying out of Amazon like hotcakes. And if you don't have yours yet, then all you have to do is pop to Amazon and type into the search Deborah Laws, and all 3 books will come up. So the ultimate dance business planner I designed for you so that you had a little bit of a Deborah on your desktop. The planners are full of business training, tips, motivational quotes, things to do at the start of the month, things to do at the end of the month, ways in which you can plan out your marketing and your retention, and they are selling all over the world. So go to Amazon, grab your #1 best-selling Ultimate Dance Business Planner and enjoy mapping out the growth for your studio. And now position yourself again. So I no longer have to do those things or teach those classes or whatever that was. I now have the time to do these things that I really wanted to be able to do. And I no longer have to do those jobs within my school that I didn't love. Now, how do you feel? Just sit in that space for a moment. How would you feel if that was all changed? And do that evaluation piece again. Is my monster now my best friend? Or is it still a small monster, but it feels so much better? And if it still feels like a big monster, then there's still more stuff for us to uncover. And I want you to keep going through this process until you can see yourself with the school that you absolutely love again, down to what you do within the school, how much time you work, how much time you have outside of the business, what you feel like as a person leading your business. And then now that we've discovered what that really looks like and where we want our school to be in the future, you can start to think about what you're going to do about it. You don't have to sit forever now thinking, this is my life, this is my school, and I hate it, or I don't love it. Like, now we've got that identified, we can start looking at dissecting that. So the first thing we need to do is work out what needs money and what needs a shift in me. So some of the things that you might need in order to create this better version of your school is more money, because you're going to need to employ people to do certain things. And if you need more money, that generally means more students, more class places filled, more, if it was a product in Tesco's, more eggs sold. Think of it as a product. You need to sell more spaces in your classes to earn more money, to generate the income so that you can employ the people to do some of the things that you don't want to do anymore, or so that you can have more time at home. So it might be a money thing that you need to generate. So I want you to kind of bracket things in terms of, is this something that needs more money? Or the other side of it is this something that needs to shift in me? Maybe you could do some of these things already, but you just can't find it in yourself to give up teaching that class because you've taught those kids since they were 3. Or maybe you know that what you really need to do is implement some systems, but you've been putting off and putting it off and putting it off because you don't love technology, and you're going to have to really embrace it and get down to the nitty gritty and have a go. Like, is it something within yourself? Mindset, something that you need to learn, something you need to challenge yourself on, maybe something where you need to let go of some control. Oh, yes, I did just say that. That's a big one. It might be that when you can let go of the control, things start to change. So is it a you thing or is it a money thing? And now we should have 2 kind of brackets, if you like, even 2 lists. And then I want you to look at that list and work out, if I did this first or changed this first, what impact would that have? Is that the big thing holding me back, or is that a little tiny thing? And I've picked the little tiny thing because that feels easy. Like, I really want you to look at that list. And if you didn't have any challenges around it, what would you do first? What would you change first? And then the rest is kind of up to you, my love, because now that you know what you need to do and what needs to change, you can start to formulate a bit of a plan. So is that, I need to join Deborah's mentorship so that I can learn about marketing and fill more spaces so that I have the money so that I can do da-di-da-di-da that's on your list. Or maybe it's, I need to join Deborah's mentorship so that she can get her pokey stick out and help me go past some of the blocks that I know I have that hold me back in business. In one of my memberships, in my middle and top tier memberships, the middle tier is called Ignite and the top tier is called Illuminate. I give you access to a fabulous coach who is a mindset and performance coach. And if there are things that are like little blockages in us, she helps us to kind of unpack that and go through a bit of a shift in our mindset. And occasionally, and well, I say occasionally, actually quite frequently, the shifts that need to happen in us as people are the shifts that then move our business in a brilliant new direction or a better direction. So you've got your lists, whether it's a you thing or a money thing, maybe there's something that I could do to help you with those things. And if it's not me, maybe, you carry on listening to the podcast to find other areas where I've already talked about things that could help maybe it's something where you go and find the knowledge that you need from another source, or maybe it's just having the determination and the plan, and maybe you just needed to hear this today and sit and think about this today, and make this list today, so that you can actually go, do you know what, tomorrow I'm going to do so and so. Tomorrow I'm going to take a step forwards in the direction that I really should have stepped in a long time ago to start the journey of transforming my monster into my best friend again. I hope this has helped. And I would love to know if this feels like you, if you have a monster, and if it's helped you to find a way forwards. Please send me a message. You can find me on Facebook under Deborah Laws. Just drop me a private message. Let me know how you got on with this today. And I look forward to hearing your results. Take care, everyone. So I wanted to tell you that this episode is kindly sponsored by Sally at Dance Studio Marketing, who is your go-to solution for growing your dance school through the power of social media. So if you're feeling overwhelmed at trying to attract new students, at Dance Studio Marketing, Sally helps dance studio owners just like you to leverage the power of social media and paid ads to bring in a steady stream of students, which of course helps you to achieve more balance in your life. So if you're ready to grow with less stress, visit sallyprendergast.com, or you can connect with Sally at Dance Studio Marketing on your favorite social media platform today. My clients are getting fabulous results using Sally. So let's get those ads going and let's get your school growing.